Hey everybody, it's Wolfie. So I opened up some of my Turtles of Grayskull figures I showed off in a previous video. So let's take a look at the four brothers. So I have the four brothers lined up here. Now, the new ones that I showed off in previous videos are all on the left side of their original figure. So the one on the right side came out last year. The one on the left side I just got a couple days ago. Now, I know I showed off the packaging earlier, but I wanted to show you what was behind each figure. So they continued the snake design all the way down. And so it looks like it's coming out of a puddle of ooze. And that's just really spectacular artwork. Really love it. Now, for people who aren't familiar watching my channel with these toys, each one of these comes with a little sheet that tells you which parts you can remove. And this is for Leonardo. You can take his head off, you can take his arms off, you can split him apart at the waist, and you can take his boots off. And that is so you can mix and match parts to make custom characters. And it's a really fun feature. And this is Michelangelo. And it's pretty much standard. If they come with a long accessory, it'll show you how to assemble it, as this diagram does here. This one is Raphael. Donatello. Apologies. You can see the D right there on his chest. D stands for Donnie. Sorry, Donnie. Donatello. So, he comes with a long weapon and it shows you how to put it together. Oh, and you can also take their hands off. Not sure if they showed that in the other ones. I think they did. This one is Raphael. Take his head off and his arms, take his hands off, split him at the waist, and take his boots off. Alright. And also, before we get to the figures, both of these came with a comic book. Wow. So one set of four figures came with one comic book, and the other set of four figures came with the other comic book. And so this is Reptile Wars Part 1, Snake in the Shadows. So, and you can see this is a full comic book. Some beautiful, beautiful artwork inside. And the story's pretty cool too. Got a nice story to it. And so this one is continued and concluded in this one. Blood of the Dragon. So I have this big dragon on the front. And this comic came with these figures. So. And again, we have that beautiful artwork inside. They put a lot of hard work into making this toy line. So I really appreciate the folks at Mattel that work on this. Not only the comics and the card backs, but also, I mean, the entire line, including the figures. They do a really great job. So, all right. So let's take a look at the leader of the Turtles, and that is Leonardo. So here's the new one I just got. And he's out of his packaging. He's really cool. I really do like him. He's got these cool knee pads, which don't actually go up to his knees. They kind of go below his knees, but that's okay. Now one change they made, which I don't really understand, but they made the wrist bracers loose as an accessory that you can remove. On the original ones, it's actually part of the sculpt. So I can't remove this. It's not going anywhere because it's sculpted into the arm. So, but Leo, both versions of Leo have that classic L in the front for Leonardo. The blue on this one, on the head, is slightly darker than this one. Not sure how well that shows up. But I'm going to try something. I'll try turning flash light on here. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how the lighting is, whether that's too much or not. But you can kind of see that blue on this one is a little bit darker than this one. It's a little bit lighter. Now, one thing I really like about this, the new ones versus the old ones, is the bandana. On the old ones, they made the bandana crazy long, and on the new one, it's a little bit shorter. I prefer the shorter one. I just like it. Since we're on the back, the shells are a little bit different. It's a different shape. This weapon strap has been moved down to the bottom of the shell instead of in the middle, like this one. And this is a lighter colored shell, and this one is much darker. And this one has a lot of battle damage on it, and this one doesn't. So it's a major difference. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Leo here. I really like his armor. I like both sets of armor, really. They're nice. And Leo is supposed to represent He-Man, since he's the leader of the group. Now, this new Leonardo figure does come with his signature katanas, but they are slightly different. And they have this little hook on there that you use to capture snakes with, because they're fighting against snakes. So we have two of these snake weapons here. So that's pretty nice. And he does hold the weapon in his hands nicely. Alright. So that's Leonardo. Next up, we will take a look at Donatello here. So this is the new Donatello. And this is the old Donatello that came out last year. So they made some upgrades. The biggest upgrade that they made is in the head. So on the old one, you can't take the helmet off. The helmet is sculpted into the rest of the head. It's part of the skull. Or maybe it was separate and it was glued on. But either way, you can't take this helmet off. Which is kind of a bummer. But on this new one, you can actually, he's wearing a hood, which is a snake-themed hood. You can see a little snake eye right there, and a snake eye right there. So when you have it down like that, it sort of looks like a snake. So this entire wave of figures was based on snakes. So, let's see what I'm doing. Can actually remove this hood. Just comes off like that. And we get Leo or Donatello's head without the hood. And in order to take this piece off, you gotta take the head off. And these shells are removable. Whoops. So there's the shell. Same shell for all 4 turtles. And you can split him apart at the waist. And his his little sash comes off. I really like this sash. It's nice. So you have that. And you can see that this is a classic Masters of the Universe belt and loincloth. Because this is a Masters of the Universe line, after all. You can pop the figure back together. So here's Leo's face away from that face shield. And I really like this closed mouth look for the turtles. I honestly wish each turtle would have come with an extra head that was this sculpt. So that way you could swap their heads out for a serious look. But they didn't. So. And you can put, the shield just hooks into these 2 holes right here. So you can pop the shield, and you can use this as a shield, but it's also their shell. And there's a little hole back here for their weapon. Johnny also comes with knee pads, which simply clip onto the back of the legs. And he's got this shoulder guard here, and he's got this really big shoulder guard here. And he has a laser weapon here. And if you want to, you can pop the hood back on just by pushing it down over the figure like so. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Donatello, and his weapon is a staff, which has some flame effects on both sides. So it's as if the staff's on fire and he's twirling it through the air like that. So that's that. Uh-oh. Turtles fell over. Well, Now let's pick up our turtle mess here. Alright. Okay. And I'm going to bring He-Man in here real quick. See, He-Man also has the same, they did a He-Man figure for this Grayskull line. And he has similar armor to the Turtles. So you can see Donnie and He-Man have the same shoulder guard. Exactly the same. And then both He-Man and Leo also have the same belt piece. So. But, yeah, so there's He-Man. And he looks pretty cool too. Anyway, on with the Turtles. So up next, we will take a look at Raphael. So we'll look at Raphael here. Alright, so this is the new Raphael that I just got in the mail. And this is the original Raphael that came out last year. Now this version of Raphael is based heavily on Ram Man. He's wearing Ram Man's armor. Some of it. And he's got a different loincloth there. He's got some red boots. And you can take his helmet off. And he just has a regular turtle head. In fact, he has the closed mouth head that Donatello has. Except, again, he has this crazy long bandana, which, yeah, I don't know. Not really a fan of that. I wish it was shorter. But, oh well. But, so that's the original version of Raphael from the Turtles of Grayskull line. And so here's the new one. I do like this new one. I do like the full bandana on top of the head. That's a really cool touch. It's new. He has a shoulder guard, which bears the insignia of the Snake Men. But this one looks like it has a sword going through the snake. So he's out to hunt down some snakes and put them out of their misery. And he's got that cool sash that I like. I like this new sash. And again, the wrist bracers, they're just an extra accessory. They're not glued. They're not part of the sculpt or glued on. You can remove them if you want to. Now, one thing I didn't like about this figure is this leg seems really skinny compared to this leg. I don't know how well that shows up, but to me, this armored leg looks a little too skinny. They did a snake armor He-Man figure a few years back, and he had a leg similar to this and an arm similar to that, but So I understand why they did that, but I don't really like it too well. And he's got the same shell that Leo and Donnie have. And Raphael comes with a couple accessories. So we finally get his traditional sai. Normal size, not crazy size. The original Raphael had a huge, gigantic sai, which is really weird. And then he also comes with this crazy snake claw accessory that you can put onto his arm. And so you got the two fangs coming out of the mouth here. And I would say that this piece would be the tongue of the snake. But it's pretty detailed. You can see it's been through a lot of abuse. There's a lot of cuts and scrapes on it. So it's a really well-made accessory. I really, really like it. And you can just put it on his hand. Just like that. And yeah, now he's sort of giving off some Freddy Krueger vibes. Yeah. Or maybe he's trying to slice some pizza as fast as he can. Maybe his brothers are hungry. Could be. I know I'm getting hungry. But I'm having a shell of a good time with these turtles, so food's gonna have to wait. So there's Raphael. Overall, it's a decent figure, despite the skinny leg. I like the armor, I like the weapons. So now we go to Michelangelo, goofball of the group. Leo back. So here is the brand new Michelangelo. And this is probably one of my favorites. Again, with wrist bracers, it's just an accessory that can be removed if you want to. But they gave him an angry face and they gave him this really, really awesome snake armor. I absolutely love the snake armor. It's really cool. I like this belt with the thigh protectors. That's nice. It's got some knee pads and your typical Masters of the Universe boots. Again, he's got the same shell and shield as the other characters. And he's got the short bandana instead of the crazy long one that the original has, which the original is right here. And you can see it's crazy long. I mean, it's ridiculous how long this thing is. But I do prefer this shell and shield. I like it better. But this face, no, I don't like the face. The face is just too silly for me. This is a serious face. This means business. This, I'm not sure what's going on with this one, but anyway. I do absolutely love the armor on this one, though. This is meant to represent either Battle Armor He-Man or I believe it was Flying Fist He-Man. Had similar armor. And see, he also has the same belt piece as He-Man does. So, although his is painted a little bit different. So, and his weapon that he came with was supposed to be this weird nunchuck. Came in several pieces. You got this piece here, and you got this other piece that has this weird energy coming out of it. I'm not sure. I guess you're supposed to plug this in there, and then plug that in there, and I guess he's supposed to, I don't know, swing these around somehow, but I haven't quite figured it out. I would have preferred just regular nunchucks. This seems like some sort of fishnet to me or something. Doesn't seem like nunchuck to me. But, it's interesting. So, I mean, I guess I could just give him this, and he could beat people with it or something. I don't have a clue what he would do. But he holds it in his hand quite well, so that's neat. Maybe he can point it at people. Who knows? But, so that's a look at my 4 brothers out of the packaging, the 4 Turtle brothers, and also He-Man. So, I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I know I had a howling good time making it. And let me know about the lighting in the comments, if that helps or if it's too much or whatever. Turn the light off here, we'll see. Which way do you like better, lights on or lights off? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. See you later.